the Paint the Rails installation at Corona train station. So it's a self-driving train station right by the Tim Hortons. And we're just getting the panels up, so we're at the final stage of installation for the project.
Yeah, just super excited to bring them into paint.
So we had 3 different community engagement sessions, and we went all around the city, and we went to speak with members of each community and hear their stories, and so that's what we've tried to reflect on each one of these panels. In this one we've combined this idea of painting the trees directly to the wall and then painting on panels to be able to make the mural feel more immersive but also have the ability to work in our studios. So that's something similar to U of A, but we've done it in a different way as well.
Piece here is part of the Ukrainian stories that were shared with us. So there's the iconic red boot and the shumka dancer's skirt and beads and some of the tassels. And something that was mentioned was the idea of the seeds that were brought over. So something that was emphasized was the rich agricultural land and the seeds that were brought over to be planted, so the sunflowers or the wheat. There was mention of the blueberries, so there is the idea of connecting with indigenous cultures and learning about when the first wave of Ukrainian settlers came, they connected with the indigenous people and learned about the various plants. So that's how the blueberries are incorporated into the piece. So this mural, or this piece, is based on some of the stories that we heard from the Francophone community in St. Albert. First off, you'll see the Franco-Albertan flag with the fleur-de-lis and the Alberta rose. Behind it, there's some dark earth, and out of it coming canola. So again, it was mentioned that we live on really rich agricultural land and is very fertile for planting seeds. The cross here is actually the mission's bell tower, and they talked about that tower as being kind of iconic for their community and how the kids would play on the hill beneath the cross there. There's also the scales of justice, and that represents the decision in 1984 to give the Francophone their own school board, the Francophone community their own school board, so to give them some independence within their own school system. That brings me to this lady who is, she's holding her French scribbler behind her back. So she's a student, and in their schools they weren't supposed to be speaking their original language. They could speak somewhat, but they needed to be focusing on English a lot, and so it was kind of an act of resistance for her to be using her French scribbler and writing in French. There's a paper coming out, and there's a story told to us about a paper that they had been given, and it asked what their first language was, and they wrote French, Français. And they kept on being given this paper again and again because they were trying to make them print English as their first language. But in an act of resistance, they just kept writing French because that was the truth.